Okay, guys. Hello. I'm Lisa's opinion. Yeah. This is my first time actually going live, so I want to welcome you all to my live session. And I'm promising you all a very seamless and fun-filled sessions because it's going to be over time, like maybe on a daily basis, depending on how I feel. There's something to talk about. So, just like the name suggests, you will hear me talk about trending topics, just like I want to talk about Very Young Man and Blencisio in this episode. So, once again, you're welcome to my live and thank you for joining. Please, you can always subscribe, like, comment, keep up with the engaging comments once you resonate with whatever I say. Of course, feel free to voice out your own opinions in the comments. We are here to learn from the happenings around us. So basically, that's what my niche is all about. I talk about trending topics, the lessons we can learn from them, and all that. So let me not take much of your time. Let's go into this very dark man and VDM and Blord's issue. Personally, all what very dark man is doing to Blord now, I feel like he deserves it. Yeah, Blord deserves everything because it's true they had this their online battle, they were getting petty at each other, but something that was supposed to be more online, you now have to carry it out of online and when physical, like you now had to use very dark man's image. I mean, you being a businessman, imagine someone takes your image and they are doing stuffs with it without your concern. How you, what are you like? What are you expected to feel? What's going to be your reaction generally? So I just feel like Billard is getting all what he deserved. I don't think he's a novice when it comes to business and the privacies and in fact everything that has to do with business, about getting rights to someone's image and things like that. If you want someone on your business, if you feel like you if you feel like they are good enough to represent your brand, then you should go about it the right way. You cannot be petty to that extent. And to me, it's even more, it's giving criminal. Do you understand? Because you going ahead to forge a flight ticket, a flight ticket. What does that tell you? You're being fraudulent. Like, it's unheard of, it's uncalled for. You deceiving people, very dark man is coming for an event, whereas you yourself, you know, he's not going to be for that event. What were you thinking in your head? You want to be petty, yes, but be petty in the right way. Don't use the fact that you want to be petty and then you mastermind criminal activities you want to carry on just to push your business. That's not how it's been done. You go ahead to pay millions to put someone's face on the billboard, whereas you know you haven't had behind talks with him. You don't have an agreement. You guys haven't come to a certain agreement. What are you thinking? For me, the law has to take its course in this case. And people are going about saying, oh, very young man is using the police, blah 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 blah. That's a criminal case. And by all it's not even like a, what do they call this now, a civil case whereby you say okay, maybe it's just defamation of character, blah blah. Like, it's a criminal case because you lured people, like you said someone has approved your products, making it gain public, is it public interest, because Veridama is someone of interest. There is nothing Veridama want to sell that he will not make money out of it. Everybody knows this. Anything Veridama chooses to sell today will, will skyrocket. So he took advantage of that and he did it the wrong way. Aside that, he went ahead to say, oh, he had paid very young man 500 500 million for that ambassadorial D and whatever. Went ahead to put him on his blunt gadget, went ahead and ahead to put him on billboards, all the likes. Like, what was Blord thinking when he was doing all that? What was he really thinking? Because as someone with sensible, or as an intelligent Igbo businessman, he should have known better. He's into business. That very young man said he doesn't know, or he sued him to commit crimes, and you feel you go scot-free. Where have you literally seen that? Done. It's not done. So for me, the law is just doing justice. The law is just doing justice to what it's supposed to be doing. Yeah. So cut the crap. All these talks people are saying, very young man, like the police is trying to do in favor of. Like, the very young man literally said that he went ahead. He went ahead to go through the normal court proceedings or the legal proceedings. Like, they sent him couple of invites by the police, like a convocation for him to attend to. They invited him, he was avoiding. They now had to go and carry him. And even before he was locked up or kept in prison while the case is still under prosecution, it's still orders from the court because they know he's going to run away. For the police to have invited you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you didn't come. That's not good signs to show that if they eventually let you go and come back when they need you, you might not still come. So what would you have them do? They have to keep him there. They have to keep Blord there for the time being until the case is over. Look at even a situation where Fino was trying to intervene on his behalf. Just imagine what he did to Fino. Just imagine. Fino went on stage, on his performance stage, tried to plead on Blord's behalf. He pleaded with Very Young Man that please, Very Young Man should let this case go. And Very Young Man, yeah, like he accepted because he was somehow loyal, or what should I say, like that's Fino is someone he respects so much. We all know about that. We know like Very Young Man actually respects Fino because from time to time he always talks about Fino. Fino is this, Fino is that. So for someone like Fino pleading with him on a public stage of about 5,000 crowd of people, he was willing to look into that, like to consider or to reconsider. But what would you have Blord and his team do the very next minute? Or they did not send Very Young Man, or they did not send anybody to beg Very Young Man. All those who are trying to beg Very Young Man are doing it on their own accord, that he wants to see the case to the end. Okay, voila. Let them go to court and sort it out there. So this goes a long way to tell us that in whatever you're doing, no matter how you want to be petty, yeah, it's true Very Young Man was also petty at some point. Very Young Man was also being petty but him being petty did not incriminate, or how can I say it? Like, him being petty, he did not attack or like do any form of criminal activity with Blord's business. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. He was being petty by cutting the prices of the goods Blord sell into two. And if you ask me, that would be to the benefit of the general public, because I don't know why you buy something for as low as 100, let's say 100,000 francs or naira, and then you want to come back to sell that thing to the general public at up to 50,000. Where is that being done? Like, you are making maybe 10 times over the gain. So Very Young Man was just doing the Lord's work, even though at some point someone had to suffer the effect. Blord had to suffer the effect in that situation, which to me, I don't mind. Yeah, because you cannot, just for your own selfish interest, you cannot be ripping off the poor masses. It's not done. And that's why, for me, I used to say, anybody who is against Very Young Man, anybody who is against Very Young Man, it means you have those tendencies. You are out there. If you have the opportunity to steal from people, you will also do the same things. Welcome to those who have joined my live. I'm Lisa's opinion. I share opinions on trending topics. I'm happy to have you here, and you feel you like the kind of content I put out, you can always subscribe, you like and engage. Feel free to drop your own views on my post. This is what we do here. So going back to what I was saying about Blord, like I will never for once encourage people to, of course it's okay to make profit out of business, but even me who is buying, me who is a customer, I will never on a good day know that a price for something is this, and then I go and buy it for a higher price. Sometimes even when you buy commodities for a higher price and then you come back to realize, oh, you were being cheated or something, you feel bad. It's almost during that period, you like, there's a time you feel so bad, and if there's a way you can even go and back that product to get back your money, if possible, you will do it. So I don't see anything. It's true VDM came at Blord's business, but he was doing it at the advantage of the masses. So I cannot even be against Very Dark Man for doing that, because it was only thanks to VDM we came to realize that the phones Blord was putting out exorbitant prices were actually cheaper than that. So you can only imagine the how much Blord has used, or how much money Blord has made from the general public over time. You can only imagine how much he has made from increasing prices in a very unruly manner. All those things are uncalled for. Everyone, you're allowed to make gain in business, you are allowed to make profit, but why let it be reasonable? Because this same you go and buy it from other people, and imagine something for 10,000, they are selling it to you at 50,000. How will you feel? So personally, I don't have issues with that. And also in business, if you feel like you have something to protect, do you understand? You don't come at people. Very Dark Man always use a statement: you come for me, you're the victim; I come for you, you're the victim. Do you think that same statement is by chance? He knows what he's talking about. You who claims you have a business, you are the one who have everything to protect. Very Dark Man rarely has anything to protect, if not his life and maybe the life of his family members. But when you talk about business growth, that's not his interest. Let's be honest. That's not Very Dark Man's interest. He doesn't have most of those things to protect. So you're coming at him. You think you can come with a battle. You're coming. You have all your businesses. You have all your investments at stake, and then you want to. No. It's not done. It's not done. So this just goes a long way to tell all of us that choose your battles wisely. When someone comes at you, even if it was Very Dark Man that came at Blord first, when someone comes at you, weigh the options. And if you follow up with what Very Dark Man says over time, he always says, for someone like Blord, he had reached out to him when people came and was complaining about his the app he came up with, how they were being defrauded, or their monies were being stolen and stuff like that. Blord did nothing. Instead, he went away to insult Very Dark Man and made him feel less, like who was he to reach out and stuff like that. So if we have to, because people are now going about saying, oh, Very Dark Man is overreacting, Very Dark Man is trying to do the wrong thing for bringing this guy to book, blah 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 blah. But if we have to look at things critically, from the critical end, right, do you think Very Dark Man is totally wrong? I don't think so. I don't think he's totally wrong, because this will go a long way to serve as a lesson to anyone. The fact that Very Dark Man say he doesn't sue, that's no guarantee for you to go ahead and feel like you can use his intellectual properties, his rights to his name, right to his images, to promote your business without doing due diligence. Like, any normal businessman or woman will know that it will not even be something they have to ask you or something, or they have to tell you rather. So that's that about that. Let's go into this Blessing CEO case and the cancer scandal. From every indication, it's showing that it's now even evident and clear that Blessing CEO she actually lied about everything. As of today, the lady whose test she doctored came out and did a live video explaining how everything went through. Like this lady, from what she explained, she was even willing to help Blessing CEO through maybe talks, like encouraging her, giving her moral support. At some point, she said she even put her in contact with a doctor who had to explain things to her, clarify her on certain things when it has to do with cancer and stuff like that. And then she also went ahead to say she even had to send Blessing CEO some series of prayers just to uplift her spirit and things like that. And then in that moment, in that vulnerability, in the pool of tears, Blessing was, because then she made us understand they had some sort of phone call or stuff like that. So she said Blessing was crying, blah 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 blah. Blessing was crying and all teary, and in that moment she took that opportunity to say, oh please, can I get a copy of your test to be at least see what your test result looks like, so I can be able to compare with mine. Guys, look at, like, just imagine how some people can be deceitful. You took advantage of someone and their illness. The girl, as ignorant as she was, she felt like she was also trying to help another victim of what she has been through, you know. So she didn't even hesitate. She didn't even think twice. Like, in her widest imagination, she could not think this could be fraudulent or something. Or she had or Blessing had ulterior motives. She just went ahead to be like, okay, let me give you this. Let me send my and mind you, Blessing CEO, her chats were on view. Is it delete after sometimes, something like that. She had put her stuff, her WhatsApp on disappearing message. So the girl could not even think further than that. She went ahead and sent that only for the Blessing to doctor those results and put online. And then it's a cause for me, for her moving from one platform to another. She even went to Arise. What's your business going to Arise when you know you are lying, you have been lying to the masses just because you don't want to give back that money? And to even think she went ahead to lie that she was giving just about she was giving just about is it 350 11 million naira, and then just for another person to come out and say he single-handedly gave 20 million for Blessing's ailment at the time. Just imagine the level. And in all of this, I don't even want to think she's doing all this because of a man. Like, that would be so devastating. And if she actually did that because of a man, it only makes sense now when we look back and think about the statement where she said, I can do everything for IVD. So does this actually mean she can go ahead to scam people, to put her reputation, her brand, her family's name, everything she holds dear to her heart, just because of a man? Like, I feel like we women, we should do better, because a lot of times we go ahead and do things, like, we do pass ourselves. Like, if I have to put it like that, we women, we do pass ourselves a whole lot of time. A lot of times these men we are trying to do, like, go helter skelter for, what have they really done for us? Is it just the I don't know, is it just the sex or what? I don't know. Or there's something else to it that these men are giving us that makes us not want to think straight? Because if you ask me, Blessing on her own, she's doing quite fine. You know, she's doing just fine. She has a house of her own. She has, I mean, the content she's doing. She says she's an expert in relationship. I mean, just that alone gives her enough resource to be able to take care of herself and her two kids. Because looking at her family background, I don't think even her parents are depending on her so fully, you know. You are living a comfortable life, and because you feel like you have a man who has come around, you want to help that man get back on his feet. You are going to do things that are unheard of and uncalled for. And the man is just taking this back seat, like just relaxing and seeing the drama unfold, seeing your name being rubbed to the mud. Have you ever thought of the fact that this man leaves you tomorrow? What will be your fate? Would you now say, oh, men has come after all what you did for him? Lies. I will never accept that, because you knew from day one. This is a man whose wife died in a very controversial situation. Like, before this man's wife died, she had a lot to say, a lot in terms of in terms of confessions, in terms of, like, she literally said a lot of things she had to go through because of that man. And you think you who is coming to date that man, you'll be treated any different? Do you really think so? Are you really that what should I say, is it dumb or what, to do all this? I don't even want to think this at this point. I'm just trying to assume. But let's, like, for a minute, let's think she has to do all this for a man, because just like I said, Blessing CEO on her own is doing just fine with her work. She has a house, comfortable house, like she has enough to take care of herself and her two kids. If she's going this extra length, then there should be a push factor. Someone someone should be the reason behind it. And we all know IVG's current predicament, the fact that he has been locked up, the issue that had to do with his wife and all those, and the fact that he had been locked up, and since then he has not been able to get back on his feet. We no longer see him selling the cars he used to sell and things like that, you know. Like, it only makes sense for us to think or feel that Blessing might be wanting to do all these things, coming up with all this cancer story, just to be able to raise funds from gullible Nigerians and well wishers, just to be able to fund the lifestyle of her and her man. And remember, they also have a wedding which is coming up. So could that also be a reason why they want all these monies from the public? Like, trying to get the public sympathy, oh, I have cancer, or the like, so people can contribute, and then you move at your wedding, your very big and dream wedding, you know. Now, stories like this will only tell or go back to tell how much even the ex-husband had to, condole with. Because ever since she came online and said a lot of things, my ex did this, my ex did that, but they will say there's always two sides to a story. And until we hear from that man, we'll never know how true her story is. We'll never know how true that story is. Really, at this point, I'm beginning to feel like that ex-husband was the victim here. I feel like Blessing's ex-husband was a victim here. That's just what I feel at this point in time. What do you guys think? Share your thoughts in the comment. I could be wrong, I could be right, but I'm still just wondering what could make a woman go ahead to say, oh, come on live video, put on a camera on your face, you're shaving your hair, you're in tears, you're crying, you're telling people you have stage 4 cancer. Like, you didn't just say you have cancer, stage 4, you have, just to, like, I just feel like even your own life at this point, you don't like it. Yeah, you don't like it. You are not putting into consideration the consequences that will come with your statement, the statements you make. You are not trying to put that into consideration. Is this how we are supposed to be? Is this where we are going to as a people? Is this normal? You take something as grievous as cancer to lie to the general public? No, it's not done. It's uncalled for. Left to me, everyone who contributed for her should be able to, like, take it up legally, ask for a refund if possible, and she herself, she has to face the law, because that's you causing public panic. You are taking something as serious as cancer to joke with, just so you can make money out of it. And then you have the guts to be going around granting interviews from Egungun to Arise TV. You even went ahead to be train banter with people like Kechi Blessing. Like, you are telling us the public that you're coming for Kechi Blessing. For somebody who is suffering from cancer, oh God, you should really be a joker. Like, you're really a joker, Blessing, at this point. You are really a joker, let's be honest. Yeah. Because any real cancer patient, I don't think you even want to come online. I don't think so. you want to come online and feel and have the audacity you have. For the most part, it might even be your family members soliciting for you. And there's just one person I'm waiting to hop on this case, and that's Very Dark Man. I'm waiting for Very Dark Man to hop on this case, because me, I know, I'm confident, I have confidence in Very Dark Man. Once Very Dark Man decides to concentrate and focus on this case, the real results or the real information we need from this case, we'll get it. But for now, let's just keep the dice rolling. And I just want to say thank you for those of you who watched this video or who will be watching this video later on. If you feel like you love the kind of content I'm putting out, do well to like, subscribe, so you can easily get access to my channel. And also, you can always keep the engagement coming. I love you all, and I really want to keep this connection I've created with you. This is my first video, and I sure I should have made 1 or 2 mistakes here and there, but I'm still a work in progress, so you just bear with me, and I promise you we're going to have a great ride on this channel. Thank you. Comment na talk.